One way to get a file into this library is to save it here, but we won't want to have to save every single file because some of the files we want already exist. Most of the files got here by upload. So let me show you the other ways you can put files into a library. The first is to create a new document. There is a default template in every single library. Most of the time, it's Microsoft Word. So if you click New, you're creating a new Word document. But if you're not sure, you can click here and say, yep, new Word document. And if you wish, you can turn this checkbox off and you won't be bothered by this message anymore. But here's Microsoft Word, and I can create a new document. And let's say this is a memo regarding lead. We'll just have some text. So I have a memo about lead certification, sending it to Mark, and I have a place for a couple of document properties. This particular library requires me to have an owner, and this is actually the green building area. Those are the folks who should be updating this. And this is a lead cert memo to Mark Lassie. So I want to save this, and it knows where I was. And I'm going to say that this is the lead memo and save this. Once I've filled this information in, I can simply close this information panel. If I make other changes, I can click the save button to refresh it. But when I'm all done, I'm simply going to close this. I can actually exit Word. I'll be back here in my library. Now, you don't see this document. I can refresh that up in the address bar, but I'd rather just reload the document library. It's faster, and it won't prompt me to retry. And there's my lead memo right here, assigned to the Green Building Group as an owner. That's one way to create a document. Just build it from scratch, brand new. And if I want to just do a short Word document in a library, there's not a better way. But again, that's not how most documents are going to get here. Most documents will get here because I will upload them. And there are a couple of different choices. One method I can use is I can browse and go locate the document. Another choice is I can use Windows Explorer. And if I do this, there's an interesting thing. Because I have versioning on in this particular library, if I have a document and I upload the same document again, let's say the current version is 2.0, when I upload it again, it will become 3.0. So that's a nice feature. It has to have the same name. So I want to make sure that I don't change the file name if that's what I'm doing. You might wonder, why would I do that? Well, in some groups, if 5 of us are working on a particular document, we put our own initials at the end, and that's a different document, and the versioning won't work. But if I simply keep the title that's there, then in my version comments, I can put, this is Ginny's version of this document, and that works fine. So a couple of different ways to do this. I'm assuming you all know how to use browse and do that, but there's an even better method here. There's a drag files area right here, and nothing's happening because I'm not dragging anything yet. But if you look in your exercise folders, in Chapter 2, there's a file called Staff Meeting Agenda. And if I just take this and any other files, I can select 25 files or 50 files here, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag that. And as soon as I start dragging it into this drag files area at all, it says upload. It's got a plus, so I know it's copying it, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop it there. Now it says upload completed with 1 checked out. You might wonder, why is this checked out? Remember that this is a mandatory field here. So I need to actually edit this document's properties and provide an owner for this staff meeting agenda. And it actually came out of the manufacturing administration group. So I'm just going to do that and save it. And it drops down here to the bottom in alphabetical order. It's still checked out, but now I can check it in. So if I wish, I can go here and choose check in. Now you might say, why don't we just discard the checkout? Well, there was never a checkout to begin with. The document wasn't saved and then checked out. It couldn't be saved at all because it didn't have all of its required information filled in. So if I choose discard checkout, I'll actually get an error. You can't discard it because there's no checked in version. So we're going to go back here and we're actually going to check this in. Any way you would like to do that. You can choose here from the open menu and check it in. It's a minor version. Retain your checkout afterwards, no. And I can just say new document, with properties. There we go, all checked in. So whether I want to go to Files and create a new document, I can actually create a new document right here as well. And if I choose that, it will let me decide what kind of document I want to create. I can upload an existing file here or here. Or if I have one or more files, I can open some Explorer window and drag those files right here, knowing that they will remain checked out if there are any required columns, any required metadata missing that needs to be filled in. That's how we create documents and upload documents here in SharePoint Online.